Dude, totally forgot this came back because it was gone for a while, but then it turns out it did one of those recap episodes. For some reason Japan loves doing those recap episodes. You have a long running series most of the times. I don't know why they like doing it. I don't see the point of them really. If you're already watching a show, do you really need a recap episode, or maybe just an excuse to have something online as they catch a break and try to finish off what work they have left? I don't know, but I don't see the point of a recap episode. So, anyways, I'm just glad it's back. So, with that reminding me, I have now 4 anime I'm actually reviewing this season: Sengoku Youko, Kamen God App, Love Life, and Alpharetta. Don't know when Alpharetta is coming out, but it is coming out this season, so that's 4 right there. But anyways, let's get into the review of episode 11 of Sengoku Youko. Oh man, after a major defeat, there's always that plot sequence after a major defeat of the heroes. The main character goes through a sense of guilt and humiliation, sadness in a way. He's upset that he lost and doesn't know what to do with himself and stuff because the Void people seem to be making their moves and making their moves fast. Seems like no matter what they do, they can't overcome what the Void people are doing. They can always be on the defensive side. That's how it is with most heroes. You see the bad guys doing something, and heroes go to stop it, or the good guys, or mind their own business, and then there comes the bad guys on the attack, and the good guys have to defend themselves. But it's never the other way around. Like just plant this into the ground and be done with it once and for all. But it's easier said than done because the bad guys are crafty. But then again, what are bad guys in this show? It seems like the bad guys, the Void people, are more of just antagonists than they are bad people. What they're doing is bad, but they're doing it for their own cause, what they see as good. It reminds me of a villain from Wakfu, the first season, and a lot of people believe he's one of the best villains ever written in animated history. And his name is Nox. Nox is a dude, if you just watch the series alone, he's a dude who's collecting the source energy around this planet so he can go back in time and save his family. So he does a lot of heinous and terrible things to get what he wants, but he does it because he believes all will be forgiven if he goes back in time so he can save his family from a great disaster. That's what he believes. Like once he goes back in time, everyone will be back to who they are, back to what they do, and nothing bad will come of it. It'll be okay. All is forgiven. That person that I messed up is okay. However, despite gathering his source of his planet for over 100 years, yes, 100 years, he was only able to go back a couple of minutes. Yes, a couple of minutes, baby. 100 years. That is crazy. Nuts, I have to say. But anyways, he fell into a great sense of depression and just disappeared, man. When insane. He already now if you watch the movie based off the guy, you'll see him, he was just a regular family man who would fix some things and always, wait behind the mortgage here and there. But he still loved himself till he found a source of power that he was working on and it drove him nuts. To the point where the family left him for a while until he gets his act straight, but it was too late by then. The family was destroyed during a great calamity, and now he realized what happens, and he believes he can fix it because the source of power that he found keeps talking to him, as I've said. Now it seems like the Void people are doing the same thing. The Void people are trying to save their country by this giant meteor that's supposed to land on them. In order to change their fate, they need people with strong amounts of faith to redirect it. So it's collecting all it can to even create an army in a way to do what it takes. An army of Katawara. They already have Senia's dad, but now they're collecting even more, even collecting something that everyone seems to be after now. The Cloud Katawara. It seems like he can be used for them to create a nice mass army as a general to fight against the barrier as well, to get to Jinka. And then there's also Senny and them who want to use some to get to Jinka and save him. So now everyone's goal is now fighting alive. question is who'll get to him first, and it seems like the void people are already there, so that pretty much sucks in a way. On the other hand, you also have Tsukiko, who's feeling a bit guilty of not able to really stand side by side with Senya, because she's just human in a way. She is skilled, very skilled, with great training, but she still doesn't see herself to be enough. Even with the power of the gourd that Tyson gave her, it wasn't enough for her to really use it. But what the gourd does is sucks the life energy out of things, including energy from the land. So it's dangerous because that's what Jinka has itself. So it's a dangerous kind of weapon that she used a gourd for. So she needs to know what she wants to do with that thing in order to see what she can do to help out Singh at the end of the day. Then, of course, we have my man Shinsuke. I already told you that Shinsuke is going to be a cool character, not in the action way, more in a spiritual and mental way, and you see a great example of it. You've been seeing bits and pieces here, how he knows how to connect with other Katawara. But now you see it again, where, you see he's been capturing Katawara, who he traps inside this hole, and then he reasons with them, he talks to them, he gives them food, he lets them eat off the food for a while, instead of eating human flesh, and as you know, they're less ferocious, less feral. So his theory is that the reason why the Katawara is so dangerous is because they themselves didn't know how to cook, or anything like that, or farm. All they knew how to do was eat things, and one of the delicious things to eat was humans. So humans have a sense of malice inside them, a darkness, that when the Katawara eats on, it makes them go feral. It makes them powerful, but yet monstrous at the same time. So if you remove the symptom, well, the cause of the symptom from the patient, they will have the withdrawals at first, but over time they will get better. So that's exactly what happened with the Katawara. He kept them away from eating human. Instead of eating human, allowed them to continue to eat regular food, rice, radish, greens, vegetables, whatever it may be. Either way, it was working in a way. The point where even Hanatora seems to fall in love with him because he has become more like an iconic symbol for the creatures of darkness in a way, where he sees all Katawara the same. Whether you're a godly Katawara who reigns supreme over a region, or you're a tiny little Katawara that just goes around his normal day. He sees them all the same equally. And that's all they want at the end of the day, is be treated equally, which is nice. So, this is what I was saying, well, the coolness of Jinka is that it's not with his fighting prowess, but instead it's actually with him being a very cool guy that talks to people, learns to get on their level, and the reason with them as well, he can gather and create allies that way. And that's how he gains certain respect. And by the way, he is free to leave the place thanks to Tyson touching him and stuff. That's interesting. But anyways, yes, after a big defeat, our heroes are on their way again to recuperate and off their journey. Zenil does a typical guilty protagonist kind of guy, the guy that has to carry everything on their own. There's always two main anime protagonists. One of the big mouth who gathers allies and wants to have the power of friendship. And then there's the guy who's very humble, quiet, but very powerful, but wants to do everything on their own because they're afraid that people around them might get hurt. So they do everything on their own all the time. It just happens, So you have your Naruto Luffy's, then you have your Ichigos and Tanjiros, in a way. You have those. Hey, but that's why we like them, at the end of the day. They're modest or very outgoing. Either way, anime protagonist syndrome. But now, yeah, our guys are on their way to fix things. So the question is, who gets there first? Because I want to know. Well, it seems like the boy people are right there first, the Cloud God. But will they succeed? I'm going to go with yes. But anyways, things will get worse before it gets better. But that's how it usually is when it comes to these stories. If it wasn't like that, it would be boring, right? So anyways, that's what I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This is the Madcrownxox. I'm Anime. Signing out.